Just show of hands, who thinks the Holy Grail is in apartment buildings?
I'll take that.
So 2, all right, 3 maybe. Scott is gonna be just next. 2 hands over here. All right, okay. All right, so office buildings. All right, we don't have any office fans here. All right, what about big portfolios of just single-family homes? All right, probably everybody. All right, what about the elder care business? Has anyone ever thought that there was any option to get into that? Absolutely. Typically, people think to get into this, you have to have just 2 to 10 just $1 million to get in. It is huge money. I'm gonna try to teach you everything I have learned. I got into this in 2014, as I was able to do up here. I got into the business in 2010. I began just wholesaling about 20 homes per year. I built up a portfolio and absolutely hated it. In 2014, I got exposed to this, and I'm gonna get going through this as quick as possible. So I actually thought everyone here would tell me that the Holy Grail was apartment buildings, right? So I'm gonna teach you how a home can outperform a 24-unit apartment building just 4 to just 5 times each month. Is anyone interested in that? Okay, so I'm gonna teach everything as quickly as we can. All right, so I'm gonna teach you how the business that we are in can give you, I probably coach each week. I probably put 20 hours in it each week, and if I didn't do this business, I absolutely couldn't be able to do any of that. So I am thankful I've got time. I'm gonna have to get going. So I'm gonna play this real quick because this kind of explains what I'm able to do in about 80 seconds. So,
when your loved ones can no longer live on their own, there are some tough decisions you have to make. How much care do they need? What does the facility offer? Is it more than just caregiving? Just because someone can't live entirely on their own doesn't mean they have to stop living. And what about the living arrangements? If someone has lived in a home most of their life, do they really want to move into a tiny apartment? If you've been struggling with these questions, Shepherd Premier Senior Living has all of your answers. We offer single-family home assisted living facilities, fully licensed by the state of Illinois for various levels of care, from independent and assisted living to memory care. Our caregiver to resident ratio is 1 to 5, so you can be sure that your loved ones get the attention they need. Shepherd Premier Senior Living offers both semi-private and private room options in a comfortable home setting, not a cramped apartment. All residents receive home-cooked meals, activities, security, housekeeping, and 24/7 CNA assistance with activities of daily living. Just because someone needs some assistance doesn't mean they have to sacrifice the comforts of a real home. For a virtual tour, visit shepherd360tour.com or call 224-333-6247 to set up an appointment.
All right, good stuff, right? All right. Fast forward. All right, so quickly here, 10,000 people are turning the age of just 65 each day, and to keep up with the 2035 demand, they have to build just 60,000 just beds each year, and they aren't anywhere close to that today. There's a huge opportunity here. It's also the top performing asset for the commercial class. And here's proof. This is as of the first quarter of 2015. I chose this one because this was able to go back 10 years. So everyone asked me, hey, how does this industry do when things are able to get tough? Well, they did pretty good right here, huh? This is ROIs. This is from this source down here. Here's the top places in this country where the elderly are at. And it's interesting that there's 2,800 of these homes here. There's 1,800 here in Florida. Where I'm at in Illinois, there's about just 52 of them in all of Illinois. So I'm going to teach you guys how I was able to go just from owning 23 homes, and I put all of them up, and I opened up, and I was able to open up this home. So I didn't have any background being able to open up these homes. I just jumped in because I was able to go to just Florida in 2014, and the 23 homes that I had cleared about $5,400 each month. This home I was able to go to had just 5 people in it, and they were clearing about $12,000 per month. I said, that home is it for us. So I jumped into it. Here are the things I was able to just learn, and I am going to teach you how to do all of these items. So you first got to check in the area, and then you got to purchase a home. The place that I am from, they don't typically have these homes, so I have to open them. So we're at the point now where we're going to break ground on building 3 homes on a 10-acre parcel by August. I'm going to teach you just what you have to do to all of the homes, how to operate them, how to get the beds occupied, and then how to keep on going. So it's easier than all people in here are probably able to think. The answer of just how it's easy is there are RNs that are coast to coast that have had, so the RNs are just so interested to open this, they don't have the opportunity to open up the house. They are able to do it, they don't have any clue how to open up the house. So everyone in here, I am going to tell everyone in here, if you ever get a home that's like just 4,000 and up on just one level, think of this, okay?
So it seems to me like you may have walked into an opportunity where there's an educated and eager labor market because the nurses are passionate about this. And then what you're saying is the opportunity. It seems like what you did too is you kind of, the conversations this morning were about streamlining a little bit.
Yeah.
You streamlined. You took a handful of your rentals and you levered up into one building.
Right.
And then if you can find something on one level that's 4,000 feet plus,
Yep.
you've got a good labor base and you can make it go.
Bingo. Yeah.
Keep going.
The thing that is going to be interesting is the elder people that are out there that care for the elderly. They are a big, giant, they're big, giant guys that have 200 plus beds. Their caregiver to just resident ratio is just 1 to 20. And I'll tell you guys, that's the biggest thing to be asking if you ever have to talk to anybody, that they have to be asking. That's the biggest thing that's going to tell you the type of care that they are able to get. Also, when they have to care for 20 people, the odor is able to happen. I mean, that's a thing that's able to happen. So I'm going to teach you guys how to open up these homes. So to purchase these homes, they have to be pretty big. We are always looking for homes that are about just 4,500 and up. If it was a owner operator, they could do a home that's about 3,000, but you can only fit about just 5 people in it. So our just first home here, this home was about 4,880. We bought it in a town of 832 people. We bought it for $250,000. I put about $500,000 into it. And this house today, which I'll get to at the end, this house where the average person is going to have a person in a home is able to earn just $1,500 to $2,000. I get just $5,200 per person times 10 people, and our expenses are about about $28,000 to $30,000 per month. So this house today is able to clear an NOI of about $22,000 per month, which gives me the opportunity to coach baseball. Budget. So the things that I was able to go through to open up this home, it has to be ADA. So it has to be just handicap accessible. So we have to have an ADA door going in, and we have to have just one ADA bathroom. In our house here, I thought to have and 88 for 10 people was total. So we ended up adding 2 extra ones. The plumbing is key. You got to increase the plumbing so you don't just have any issues, any type of that. We put 12 cameras in there, so I on here can pull up what is able to go on there today. The cost in an average home is about 250,000. This home here, I put in about 450 to about just 480. We overdid it. Every bedroom, it's good if they have their own just half bath, but that's all they have to have. So operations, the key here is you have to hire a RN. And if you give an RN about $82,000 per year, she is going to just love you. 10 minutes, yeah, okay. And the RN is able to hire everyone else, and they are kind of in charge of that house. To get the beds occupied, there's actually different just companies out there that are able to help you do it. I'll tell you, this company here is they are able to charge you 120% of the first. So if it's just $5,000, you have to pay them about just $6,000. We've got a gal that's been with us since December of 2015. She's over $200,000 in. So I would be happy to pay that up front. There's definitely things you have to do to keep the home open and operational. I don't have time to get into all of them. The idea here is this business is able to operate in groups of 3 homes, because the RN is about, I pay RN about just $6,000 each month. By having 3 different homes, the cost just for her of each home is only $2,000 each month. By being able to do that, it's able to increase your NOI. The idea here is if you open up 3 homes that are able to have 10 people each, you can generate about $20,000 per home, or create passive income with 3 homes. I mean, who here is interested in passive income? Okay, good. So that's the interesting part. These are our 3 homes. This is our just first home here. Home 2 is here. Home 3 is over here. So I'm going to actually go through each home to give you an idea what we have been able to do. First home, I actually had these 2. These ought to be the other way. We bought this home for $250. We put just $500 in. This home is it's just under just $5,000. How this home is able to be is I've got 10 people in there. Our private is $200 per day. Our beds with 2 people in them, I get $165 per day. So those bedrooms generate about $10,000 per month. The gross income is about, just $50,000. Expenses are $30,000. The NOI is $20,000. The annual NOI is about $240,000. A thing that's interesting is we just got a Cushman, and we got the appraisal back about 2 weeks ago. This house appraised out for just $1.8 million.
Your total investment is $750,000.
Yeah.
Now, $500,000 on the rehab side is high.
We put a ton of dollars into it.
And you did that because you needed to make it essentially ADA accessible throughout.
I overdid did everything.
Okay, on the finish side, but then also on the ease of accessibility side, right? Because I talked to Steve over the weekend, so I got a good insight on this.
Yeah.
So that's why the rehab cost is so high.
Right.
And then you in your capital stack, you took out some private money at some higher rates.
Yeah.
But because of the way this thing worked out, now you have a 1.8 valuation on it. So now you can then bring it back into refinance, recapitalize, and come out with better rates, and you have you either can do the Tim Bratz model, which is take a bunch of money off the table, or you do the opposite, which is just have a huge NOI.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We got a couple of questions. Do you mind if we take them?
Yeah.
Brandon?
Sure.
Why is that cap rate so high? Do you know?
First one, and the home is existing. So as I'm able to go through the other homes, the cap rate's able to go down, and as I begin to build homes, the cap rate goes down to just 5 to 6%. So when I was able to open this, they were just very easy on us. That they came in to give us a appraisal, and it turned out to be a 13.5%. The home after this is also at a 13.5% because this home was built in the 1880s. So a thing that's interesting on this house here is this house, we bought this. I got the owner to carry back. I put down 25 grand down, and I got the owner to carry back 420, just 5,000 at just 1.5%, which the gentleman isn't here, but this house is actually in an opportunity zone. Cha-ching. This house here is able to generate just 60,000 of income. The expenses, the NOI here is actually higher because this home is older. Now our third house, this house was built in just 1985. This house is on about just 5.2 acres. This house is actually going to care for the elderly, but it's going to care for the elderly when they get closer to the end. This is the all-timers care, and this is actually a thing where this care begins at about just $7,000 each month, times 10 people. This house is able to earn some pretty good dollars. So in here, we've got 2 private beds I put here, and then I put 8 of them for 2 people per home. So the gross income is just 63, expenses are 35, the NOI is 28. The cap rate's able to go down. A thing that's interesting is we'll have about 2.7 of equity into it after everything is all done. And because of us being part of this group here, we bought an interesting house, which we're actually closing on it in 2 days here, and it's only because of here did I ever have the opportunity to get into this house. This house I put an offer in 2016 for the owner to carry back some money, and he turned down the offer, and he was able to go with somebody else's offer. That was $800,000. Well, this guy got caught with about 2,000 pounds of weed, which is here. If you can tell, this guy here, he kind of basically looks like that guy, right?
He looks like the Unabomber.
Yeah. So this house here is 18,000 square feet. The cost to build this house today would be about 2.8 million. We put it, it hit the MLS this past week for just under 800. We bought it we are able to close on it in 2 days for just 750. This house here is going to have just 16 people, and it's going to have an NOI of just $40,000 per month. This house here is going to be, when it's all done, we can take out, we can add about 4.8 to the balance sheet. We've got the capital to build some homes. So these homes are interesting, and this is the place that I'm going to go just from here on out. This is about 10 acres, and I don't have the time to go just through this one, but this deal's awesome. This deal's interesting because each of these homes is able to do just 40 each month per home times 3, 120,000. The annual NOI is just 1.4 at a just 6% cap rate that comes out to about 24 million. We would take out just 60%, that's just 14.4. We'd pay off the 4.8 million and keep on opening up homes.
Hey Brandon, before we get into your needs, let me just do a little summary. So what it sounds to me is you had a portfolio, I said a second ago, you had a portfolio rentals.
23.
You levered them into something that you saw as a market opportunity, right? Because you were in Florida, correct. You saw an opportunity for this, you did correct. Your research, and then you said hiding in plain sight here in Illinois are a bunch of elderly folks that need to age gracefully into something.
Correct.
And then once you did a little bit of research and you realized how much the actual cost per bed is per month, it was about 4 times what you expected it to be. Absolutely. You're like, holy crap, there's a business here. So right. in an environment where inventory is hard to find, you have found an opportunity to maximize the monthly returns that give you a chance to participate at par, at market value, correct. Add value, and then be able to do bankable takeouts on the back end. And correct. Then you're going into develop subdivisions building. Because of what you're doing, and you're then able to pivot. Mm-hmm. So like Ian talked about on Wednesday, or I talked about it, but it was about Ian on the service stations. Like he's finding a service station that provides a coupon. You found something different. You've kind of forced something on the market that it needs, you identified the need, and then you came and you positioned it with your product.
Bingo. Yep.
Okay. I know there's a bunch of questions. Can we do this? Let's get to your need, and then before we go into break, we'll ask some questions.
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you, I probably have answered a bunch of them just from being able to talk to you guys. If anyone in here has any experience of a person that has been able to handle the FHA 232 just lien program, trying to just find somebody that's an expert at it compared to just somebody that's going to try to go. This is the equal of the 203K, but this is for building these homes. A thing that's interesting is you only have to put 10% down, and then it would convert to a 40-year perm loan. And then questions. I haven't ever just built any homes before, and I'm at a point that I have to go through that. And I thought if I asked everyone here, I could probably get that part answered. So that's it.
All right, so let's go one by one. The need for the referral for the experienced commercial mortgage broker. Again, I'm an awful typist. I'm an even worse speller. 232, is that LEIN?